Mike Wilson with Funds for All. Thanks for joining us.
My pleasure to be here,
Appreciate you
Hugh.
taking time. Hey, so why don't you start up by telling us what Funds for All does, who you serve, and kind of what the value is that you provide folks.
Sure. Funds for All is an online platform that serves resellers who sell fundraising the ability to use a lot of high-level technology that they otherwise wouldn't be able to afford to create themselves. And it allows them to use social media, outreach and marketing materials, and generally supercharge their fundraisers.
Got it. And who do they in turn sell to, Mike? Tell me more about their audience.
Sure. These resellers are folks who already have a book of business, anywhere between 100 and 150 customers they service in any given year. They're mostly schools, youth sports teams, civic organizations, nonprofits, and church groups.
Great, great. And tell us, you got the company going last year. How are you going to market? How are you kind of getting to those resellers? How are you selling your product?
It's interesting because the market, which is incredibly fragmented, the initial sort of push by most of our competitors is to go toward, at the end user, the teacher or the coach or the parent who has to have a fundraiser. Our focus is more B2B. We're going after companies that already have business. And these businesses are challenged by the fact that their customers want technological solutions. So, and plus for us, it's much easier. We can white label it, hand it off to them. They already have the customers, and then they resell our product. So we thought that was the smartest way to enter the market, get a lot of traction nationally, and then we can grow from there. We do have a strategy that has us reaching out to those what we call self-provision users, sort of a phase 2 approach.
Got it. And you've been at this less than a year, but you've kind of in the market. What's working well for you? What do you think needs a little tweaking in terms of how you go to market?
Well, I'm happy to say that we're pretty close. We've done over 800 fundraisers to date. This is through our beta testing phase. And I'll start with the good news. The good news is that our customers like it. These resellers love the fact that there's a new product they can offer that nobody else can, that they can offer their customers some more detailed end user, donor, customer database information that they normally wouldn't have. And so there's a lot of uptake with the product there in the market, and we're getting some good referral business from that as well. I would say the challenge, however, is with any market change. These guys are used to selling a product that you can hold in your hand or a catalog you can look at, and being able to use email and web and social media, virtually reaching out to people and then tracking and manage that is very new. So there's a bit of an educational hurdle. We find that the guys that are younger tend to pick it up right away, get it instantly. And for the older guys, what's encouraging is they'll talk to their customers about it, and their customers are hungry for something like this.
Isn't that interesting? So the customers may drive your customer to purchase your product.
Exactly.
And that makes sense. It's kind of the consumerization of IT or cloud-based apps. And Mike, you love doing startups. You've worked on other ones before. On working on this one? What's been the kind of biggest takeaway? What would you share with folks? Based on what you've learned over the last year or two?
Well, we're doing this one a little different. My past experience has been to come up with a great idea, put a team together, raise some money, and then go after it. Because the way that we approached this, or I approached this rather, was it started off as as a side project. I was doing something else somewhat related, and I was trying to solve a problem for a customer, unrelated to my dealings with them. And out of that, we found that there was a strong demand for this sort of intermediary software piece, and it just grew naturally. And so we decided that before we go out and get angel or venture capital money, we should test this market and see if we couldn't possibly do it ourselves. So the takeaway is, excuse me, the takeaway is when you do it yourself, unless you already have the finances on hand, it's a lot slower than you're used to. When you've got a chunk of money, you can move pretty quickly. Lucky for us, we've been able to sort of overcome that in the next 6 to 8 months. We think that we can probably do this on our own, or we'll be really well positioned to take our first round of funding, but get a much better valuation negotiation since we will be generating revenue, have lots of customers, and a solid product in the market.
Mike, that's a great takeaway. Well, Mike Wilson, thanks so much for taking time with us. Mike's company is Funds for All, and we look forward to seeing how things progress. Mike, thank you.
My pleasure, Hugh. Thanks.